What's up guys, Mike here, bringing you the very first episode of Mike's Monster Reviews, where I tear apart classic and brand new games and give you my thoughts and opinions on them and whether or not you guys should pick up these games in the market. Today we are going with the first episode, and today we are starting off with a classic that has been released for the new Nintendo 3DS XL system. We are basically starting off with Super Mario Kart for the 3DS Virtual Console. I give you guys my opinions and whether or not this game should be picked up for yourselves, but without further ado, let's get to the review. Super Mario Kart is a kart racing video game developed and published by Nintendo for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System back in 1992. It is the first game of the Mario Kart series and was launched in Japan on August 27, 1992. It was launched in North America on September 1st, and it was launched in Europe on January 21st, 1993. This game literally sold 9 million copies worldwide. The game went on to become the third best-selling Super Nintendo game of all time. Super Mario Kart was actually re-released quite a few times, once being on the Wii Virtual Console in 2009, and then it was re-released again on Wii U's Virtual Console back in 2013, and more recently, this game was actually released for the 3DS Virtual Console, and I will be talking about that later on in this review. Super Mario Kart was produced by Shigeru Miyamoto. In an interview, Miyamoto has stated that the development team originally set out to produce a game capable of displaying two players on the same screen simultaneously. In the same interview, Kono stated that development started with the desire to create a two-player racing game in contrast to the single-player gameplay of the SNES launch title F-Zero. The team actually found out that due to the limitations of the Super Nintendo hardware, the strong focus on multiplayer prevented the inclusions of tracks as elaborate as those found in F-Zero. Computer video games suggest that this initial emphasis on creating a two-player experience is the reason for the game's horizontal screenplay during single-player modes. The intention to create the racing modes of the game have been present from the start of the project. The battle mode was developed from the desire to create a one-on-one mode where victory was not determined simply by competing for rank, but eliminating each other on the battlefield, which I'll get to in a little bit. Notable in the development of Super Mario Kart was the use of its Mode 7 graphics. First seen in F-Zero, Mode 7 is a form of texture mapping available on the Super Nintendo, which allows a plane to be rotated and scaled freely, achieving a pseudo three-dimensional appearance. Basically, in Super Mario Kart, your sprite is basically standing still. Your character is not actually moving when you're playing. It's actually the background moving towards you. So you're basically steering the background, not the kart. Super Mario Kart has two single-player modes, Mario Kart Grand Prix and Time Trial. In Mario Kart Grand Prix, one player is required to race against 7 computer-controlled characters in a series of 5 laps in cups that are basically 5 tracks each. You have the Mushroom Cup, the Flower Cup, the Star Cup, and the Special Cup. 50cc being the slowest speed and going up to 150cc, which is the highest speed. Each cup consists of 5 5-lap races, each place taken on a distinct track. The presentation in Super Mario Kart is absolutely phenomenal. You have the top screen, which basically shows your character driving, as well as the time, the item box, what place you're in, the number of retries you have left, as well as coins. And the bottom screen is actually a mini-map, so you get to see all the characters driving around the track, and it looks absolutely adorable. Not to mention that each of the tracks have a very distinct background. You have tracks like Mario Circuit, Donut Plains, Ghost Valley, and Koopa Troopa Beach, just to name a few. Super Mario Kart actually has 8 characters you can play as. You can play as Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Donkey Kong Jr., Bowser, Toad, Yoshi, and Koopa Troopa. Even though there wasn't that many track designs back in the day, the presentation still holds up very well today, especially the music in this game. I absolutely love the soundtrack. The music in Mario Circuit and the music in Koopa Troopa Beach and Donut Plains are some of my favorite tracks, just to name a few of them. In Mario Grand Prix, you end up winning each cup based on how many points you get. Depending on how well you place in the track, each character is awarded a certain amount of points. First place getting 9 points, down to 4th place getting 1 point. The competition in Super Mario Kart is absolutely fierce with the AI rubber banding. Basically, AI rubber banding determines how fast a computer character can actually catch up to you in a race. Like, I would hit Koopa Troopa as Yoshi with the red shell, and about 2 seconds later, I wouldn't even be driving for more than like a minute, and Koopa Troopa would already be right back behind me. That's how crazy the AI rubber banding was. The competition in Super Mario Kart is very phenomenal. You definitely get your challenge worth out of this game. The difficulty is definitely there, but once you overcome the difficulty and you can learn to deal with the controls, it is absolutely a blast to play. And I say dealing with the controls because Super Mario Kart actually has slippery-ish controls to me. I'm not sure if everyone's going to feel this way about the controls, but in Super Mario Kart, when I steer, my character kind of goes a little bit outward, so the controls are a little bit slippery to get used to at first, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Once you do get used to the controls, this game is a lot of fun to play. Especially when you're trying to race in multiplayer mode with 2 people on the screen. Multiplayer is an absolute blast in this game. Multiplayer mode in Mario Kart is a lot of fun. For 2 players, you have the 3 options of Mario Kart Grand Prix, Match Race, and Battle Mode. Mario Kart Grand Prix, I just explained with the whole trying to win the cup with the most points. Match Race actually lets you guys race with no opponents on the track, so it's just you and your friend on the track. And Battle Mode is a fun game where you're trying to pop each other's balloons. You're placed into a giant arena in Battle Mode, and the goal is to try to chase each other and hit each other with items 3 times to eliminate your opponent's balloons. It becomes an intense game of cat and mouse, and it's just an absolute joy to play. If you guys get this game, I would definitely recommend Battle Mode. It's a lot of fun. Going back to controls really quickly, playing on the 3DS Virtual Console is actually a lot of fun to play with Super Mario Kart. I was a little skeptical at first trying out Super Mario Kart on the 3DS system, but using the circle pad to steer is actually a very smooth experience. Once you actually get used to the controls, it feels second nature. Not to mention that the 3DS already has the buttons looking like the Super Nintendo controller buttons with the different color coordinated buttons. But the 3DS Virtual Console and the Wii U Virtual Console versions of this game are definitely worth picking up. The 3DS Virtual Console version of the game is about $7 I believe, and the Wii U version is $10. Either way guys, if you have not played Super Mario Kart, or if you're a longtime fan of the series, Super Mario Kart is definitely a game worth picking up on the Super Nintendo. And whether or not you're playing on the Super Nintendo or the Wii U or 3DS Virtual Console, this game is definitely worth checking out. But that is going to do it for this review guys. If you guys enjoyed this review, definitely hit that like button. Let me know what games you want me to look at in the comments section. If you guys haven't followed me on Facebook and Twitter, definitely do so in the description below. But until the next review, my fellow Monster Gamers, take care.